So, a few weeks ago, I did a joke review on the Nerf Jolt, which is easily one of the worst Nerf blasters out there. But if you thought this was bad, well then, say hello to these two. Yeah, today I'll be reviewing these two blasters in one video. This is gonna be lots of fun. Hey guys, what's up? It's Sir Mike here. Welcome back to another Nerf review. And today I have got the Longshot Front Gun and the AS-1 to review. Two of the worst Nerf blasters you can buy. And one of them isn't even a blaster, it's pretty much just an accessory. But anyways, let's get into the review. Starting off with the Longshot Front Gun. This thing, in my opinion, is pretty ergonomically fine as long as you don't have it attached to the front of another blaster. However, the performance is just awful, in my opinion. The reason for that is because, well, first off, it is ergonomically weird if you have it attached to the front of another blaster, but the range isn't even that good. Sure, it's a light spring. In fact, I can easily prime it one-handed, but it can only hold one dart, and it's really not that powerful. Another kind of weird ergonomic on this thing is the trigger guard, which means it's not a full trigger guard, which I cannot say I'm a huge fan of. Personally, I prefer to have my finger rest on the trigger guard, but this one is just too weird for that to be possible. So I either have to be very careful to not accidentally pull the trigger, or I have to keep my finger above the trigger, which is also weird. And it can really get in the way of performance because your finger kind of rests on this area where the priming handle can go back. And you risk hurting your finger while doing that. And also this does not have any additional tack rails. So, yeah, that is definitely a disappointment. Although, I don't really know if it needs tack rails because it is an attachment itself. But anyways, yeah, that is it for the external review. Let's get on to functionality. If the look of the blaster and what I said in the external overview wasn't a dead giveaway, then this yellow piece here is the priming handle. So, yeah, you just prime this back, and now you're ready to fire, as long as you have a dart loaded in, of course, which I do not in this situation. Yeah. Other than that, this is basically no functionality, aside from the fact that you can attach it to another gun. But, yeah, let's see this thing fire. Now, firing the Jolt for comparison. Moving on to my final opinion for this blaster, it is certainly not something worth taking into a Nerf for. It's slightly less powerful even than the Jolt, which is pretty underpowered compared to most elite blasters already, and it's also not compact enough to be considered a sidearm. It's just way too bulky, and I know it's supposed to be an attachment, but still, it's pretty bulky even for a sidearm or an attachment. And sure, the Fortnite barrel extensions are also similarly long, but even those aren't as long as this. Seriously, just get this thing out of the way. Now, let's move on to the number one worst blaster out there, in my opinion, the AS-1. This blaster is air tank powered, and it can only hold one round. Anyways, let's get into the external overview. So first off, it's got this clip here. I'm not sure why you'd use that. Maybe to, I don't know, attach that to a belt loop or something. I have no idea. This here is the air pump. You gotta pump this thing multiple times for maximum firepower, which is still not all that powerful. And this goofy thing here is the trigger. Yeah, that's pretty weird. But anyways, that is going to be it for the external overview. And of course, this is the barrel and sights. No tack rails, no attachment points, nothing. Let's get on to functionality. Moving on to functionality. Of course, as I mentioned, this goofy looking thing is the trigger. This is the priming handle, except you have to pump it multiple times to get maximum firepower, which is still not all that great. Of course, this is the barrel. To load, you just load in a dart, then you're good to go. And this here is a clip. I'm not sure what you would attach that to. And also this thing is really tiny, so it's going to be ergonomically weird. But yeah, let's get into the firing demo. And now, firing the Jolt for comparison. Now, moving on to my overall opinion on this blaster. Certainly do not take this into a Nerf war, or you are going to get absolutely destroyed. Especially if you take it in as a primary. Because this thing takes a long time to get to maximum power. And even when it is at maximum power, you'd be lucky to get the Jolt's range. And the Jolt's range kind of sucks. Yeah. Maximum firepower with this thing isn't even half of the Jolt's. And in fact, it's probably like 20-something feet per second. Whereas the Jolt's is like 50. But yeah, definitely do not take this into a Nerf war, or you will get destroyed. Yeah. Also, this thing is pretty much garbage. Don't buy this at all, really. It's ergonomically weird, and performance is even worse. You'd be way better off with the Jolt as your primary. Seriously. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's review. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye. I can throw harder than that thing shoots. No joke.